See, I see you really have issues with the Constitution. Perhaps let's look at what Egwando Chone has asked here. He said, well, we should bring this question before you and say, okay, if this Constitution, you're really not at home with it because it was actually drafted in the military era. What about the attitude of us as a people if we had a better attitude towards what we have in the Constitution as it is now? Don't you think that the nation would have been better the way, uh, better than what it is now?
Whether you like it or not, you must have guidelines to rule your morals. You must have guidelines to rule your thinking. You must have guidelines to rule your culture. And one of the surest way you can do that is through a constitution. It's through a constitution. And also, most importantly, people tend to forget this. Apart from that, which you have actually mentioned, there's something we call morals too, and the values that guides us as a people. There's a lot of indiscipline in our country today. A lot of discipline.
I'm sure that's the attitude he's referring to.
Yeah, and most importantly, I was listening to the man that just left here, the resident electoral commissioner in Ondo State. He talked about politicians. Who are the politicians? The politicians are not foreigners. The politicians are Nigerians. So if we don't educate those younger ones that are coming up, and they tend to follow the same line of attitude, we will not have any result. If people know that we have a constitution and we have laws that binds us as a nation, that if you do A, this is the result you're going to get, without interfering in the judicial process, a lot of people will wake up. I keep telling people.
Sorry, when you say we don't educate, are you referring to the young professionals?
No, young people, stakeholders, leaders, and all that. Like what we're doing, we started an advocacy campaign for the role of young professionals in nation building and the quest for purposeful leadership. We've gone round. We've done the northern part of it, which we had over 1,000 young people who participated in the program. We've done the southeastern part of it, which we had over 1,000 young professionals that attended. We've done the south-south part of it, which was held in Bayelsa last 2 weeks. We had over 1,000 young professionals that attended. On the 26th, we're in Lagos. On the 26th, to talk to young professionals. We must start from somewhere to educate the minds of our people towards productive ventures.
Is this not a tacit way of saying those government agencies that were saddled with that responsibility for this orientation have failed?
Well, to me, I've not, all the places that we have been going to, from the north to the southeast to the south-south, they said young people keep saying that we have never seen this before for a period of long time. So, to me, we are trying to make history. The future is ours. If we don't take this challenge and ensure that we talk to our young people to redirect their mind, to redirect their energy towards nation building, because we all have a collective stake in this nation.
I know that part, but you still didn't address the question. Those agencies of government that are set there to perform some of these functions. So young professionals stepping in means there's a gap. So doesn't that also say that those agencies...
Well, those gaps are there, but I wouldn't say that they are not trying. They are trying, but much needs to be done.
Okay, because those who will categorically say that, well, much as we all have got to come to the table or bring something to the table, but that does not mean that those agencies that are there, don't forget, they are funded, they're well established, they should also, we should point out their failings because some of them may not know. So if we know, nothing wrong in pointing them out.
For example, the National Orientation Agency needs to do much about reorientating the minds of our young people. Most importantly, because if you look at it, we are the ones that suffers most. The politicians uses us once it's time for election. The escalation of violence that you find in the Niger Delta and also the Boko Haram that we have today. These are very young people. So if we have a social reorientation agency that is very active, to let Nigerians know that we have a country. We don't have anyone to call our own. Nigeria, we say we are a great nation. We are a great nation, but if there's no spirit of nationhood in us, there's no level of patriotism. I've seen a lot of youth who say, I don't care.
How does the forum deal with those kind of views?
Yeah, but we try as well. If somebody has made up his mind that, look, this is the direction I want to take, it takes time. for you to change that. So we are trying to change their mindset. We are trying to let them know that, look, everybody have a stake in this nation. And most importantly, as young people. I will give you an example. You know, we have been nourished as young people by generations of broken promises. Gowon was actually very young. At 33, he was the head of state in Nigeria. Have we ever had that kind of situation? Here was a man at that youthful age came up with the National Youth Service Corps, the NYC. That platform is a platform that actually, brings about the real reintegration of Nigeria. Because people like us went to other states to serve. So we understood the culture, the perception, the language of other people. It brought me close to our friends in the north. But that institution today is being threatened because of the escalation of violence we have today in the northern Nigeria. So, some people are not going to serve in some states in the northern Nigeria. So that institution that was brought about by a young leader is being threatened today by young people. So we need to change their mindset.
So is the forum saying anything about the age limit to contest for the presidency?
Yeah, our position is this, that if you are 18, you have the constitutional right to vote and to be voted for. There shouldn't be any level of age barrier as far as we are concerned. If you are 60 years old, okay, retire from active politics, then you can serve maybe as an advisor. That is our position. Because you see that all these old people after 60, some of them don't even know that there's a global trend today in leadership. I can tell you there are some people in important position of government today. They don't even know what email is. They don't even have emails. You cannot even communicate with them. So how do you succeed in a globalized world of that we have today in the 21st century?
How do you then succeed in a place where you have the youth in minority at a conference? How will such a suggestion or input fly?
No, but whether you like it or not, as I've said, it's not enough for us, but we must start from somewhere. It's never done before in the history of this country. That's why, I keep thanking the president, because we made series of efforts to ensure that there's youth representation. And that little opportunity has been given to us. So we must start from somewhere. So we'll use that as a means of championing our cause, towards greater heights.
Well, we discussed earlier on in our opening sequence today on the program concerning the unemployment matter. Perhaps that should also bother the youth of the country.
And the destiny of this country lies in our hands. So if we don't take up the challenge now and work constructively to ensure that we change the situation that we have in our country today, if the problems that we have as a people and as a nation and the problems of unemployment that we have today remains unattended to, it will continue to jeopardize the continued coexistence of this nation. So we as stakeholders at government levels, private sector, non-governmental organizations, we have a role to play to bring young people together to ensure that we change the kind of culture and perception that we have in our nation today.
All right, Moses, we have to thank you for coming on. Moses Siasia is the convener, Nigeria Young Professionals Forum. We'll be back after this. We'll still give you some more details about this incident that occurred in Abuja. Join us again.